Okay. For those, 1, 2, 3, mga 5 na bago nag-enter, here's question 1. It may be defined as a measuring device or procedure. Is it A, test, B, assessment, or C, experiment? Wait, sorry. May raised hand. Sorry po. Okay, timer stops. Question 2. It is a test measuring psychology related variables. Is it A, psychological test, B, psychological assessment, or C, psychological measure? Okay, timer ends. Question 3. Which of the following is correct? A test may differ in A, content scoring and interpretation, B, content format administration scoring and interpretation, or C, format scoring and interpretation. Timer starts. Okay, timer ends. Question 4. It has 3 levels of tests in terms of the degree to which the tests use required knowledge of testing and psychology. Is it A, test user levels, B, test user scores, or C, test user qualification? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 5. Which level of assessment is available for purchase by individuals who have a bachelor's degree, equivalent training, certification, professional membership, and practical experience? Timer starts now. Okay, timer ends. Question 6. Which level of assessment is available for purchase by individuals who have a graduate degree and equivalent training? Timer starts now. Okay, timer ends. Question 7. Which level of assessment is available for purchase by individuals who have a doctorate degree and direct supervision? Timer starts now.
Okay.
Timer stops. Question 8. Achievement tests and proficiency tests are an example of A. Level A test, B. Level B test, or C. Level C test. Timer starts now. Timer stops. Question 9. A- Aptitude test and adjustment inventory are an example of A. Level A test, B. Level B test, or C. Level C test. Timer starts now. Okay, timer ends. Question 10. Projective tests and individual mental tests are an example of A. Level A test, B. Level B test, or C. Level C test. Timer starts now. Okay, timer ends. Question 11. What reflects an evaluation of performance on a test, task, interviews, or other behavior samples? Is it A. Score, B. Scoring, or C. Cutoff score? Timer starts now. Okay, timer ends. Question 12. What is the process of assigning such evaluative codes or statements to performance on test, task, interviews, or other behavior samples? Is it A, scoring? Is it A, score, B, scoring, or C, cutoff score? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 13. What is the reference point, usually numerical, derived by judgment and used to divide a set of data into two or more classifications? Is it A, score, B, scoring, or C, cutoff score? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 14. It is the science of psychological measurement and the testing of psychological variable. Is it A, psychological testing, B, psychological assessment, or C, psychometrics? Timer starts now.
It is a science of psychological measurement.
One more time, please. Okay po. Okay, timer stops. Question 15. It is the method of gathering information through direct communication involving reciprocal exchange. Is it A, role play, B, interview, or C, assessment? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 16. What is a collection of work samples? Is it A, resume, B, portfolio, or C, personal data sheet? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 17. What refers to records, transcripts, and other accounts in written, pictorial, or other form that preserve archival information? Is it A, history data, B, case history, or C, case study? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 18. What can be defined as monitoring the actions of others or oneself? Is it A, behavioral observation, B, case history, or C, local processing? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 19. What can be defined as acting an improvised or partially improvised part in a stimulated situation? Is it A, body language, B, role play, or C, psychological behavior? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 20. What can be used in test administration, scoring, and interpretation purposes? Is it A, calculator, B, psychology books, or C, computer? Timer starts now. Timer stops. Question 21. It is a scoring that can be done on site. A. Local processing. B. Central processing. Or C. Teleprocessing. Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 22. It is a scoring that is sent to and returned from a central facility. Is it A. Local processing, B. Central processing, or C. Teleprocessing? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 23. It is a count of performance spewed out ranging from a list of scores or actual scores themselves. Is it A. Simple scoring report, B. Extended scoring report, or C. Interpretive report? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 24. It includes statistical analysis of the test taker's performance. A. Simple scoring report. B. Extended scoring report. Or C. Interpretive report. Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 25. It is distinguished by its inclusion of numerical or narrative interpretive statements in the report. Is it A, simple scoring report, B, extended scoring report, or C, interpretive report? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Okay, for a moment, guys, we're halfway through our questions. Let me just change the settings para makapasok yung iba. Okay. Presenter view. Okay. Yan. So, yung gusto makapasok, pwede na makapasok. Na may, pwede na tayo for tab switches. Okay. Okay, for question 26. It is written in language appropriate for communication between assessment professionals, may provide expert opinion concerning analysis of the data. Is it A, integrative report, B, interpretive report, or C, consultative report? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 27. It is integrated data from sources other than the test itself into the interpretive report. Is it A, integrative report, B, interpretive report, or C, consultative report? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 28. Who are the ones who will publish the test materials? Is it A, test developers, B, test makers, or C, test creators? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 29. These are the professionals who purchase, read, and know the standards of the test. Is it A, test holders, B, test users, or C, test keepers? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 30. It is the assessee who will take the test. Is it A, test examinee, B, test applicant, or C, test takers? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 31. There are tests administered early in school life to help identify children who may have special needs. Is it A, campus setting, B, educational setting, or C, school setting? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 32. Which test evaluates accomplishment or the degree of learning that has taken place? Is it A, diagnostic test, or B, achievement test? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 33. Which test refers to a tool of assessment used to help narrow down and identify areas of deficit to be targeted for intervention? Intervention. Is it A, diagnostic test, or B, achievement test? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 34. What do you call a society that can benefit from tests? Is it A, healthy society, or B, society at large? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 35. What setting is used to help screen for or diagnose behavior problems? Is it A, rehabilitation, or B, clinical setting? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 36. What is used to measure intelligence? Is it A, neuropsychological test, B, personality test, or C, intelligence test? Timer starts now. Mhm. Timer stops. Question Question 37. What is used to describe or evaluate the personality of an individual? Is it A, neuropsychological test, B, personality test, or C, intelligence test? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 38. What is an assessment of how one's brain functions, which indirectly yields information about the structural and functional integrity of your brain? Is it A, neuropsychological test, B, personality test, or C, intelligence test? Timer starts now.
Terus itu pa-join ka niyo kung
Okay, timer stops. Question 39. What are other known settings for assessment tests? Is it A, military, B, organizational, or C, both? Okay, timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 40. What protocol is followed in the test administration? Is it A, paper and pencil, B, computer, or C, expressions? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 41. What are the two types of test administration? Is it A, assessor and assessee, B, individual and group, or C, student and worker? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 42. Okay, so what assessment is accomplished by means of some accommodation made to the assessee? Is it A, alternate assessment, or B, accommodation assessment? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Okay, 10 questions to go. Okay. Question 43. It is the adaptation of a test, procedure, or situation, or the substitution of one test or another to make the assessment more suitable for an assessee with exceptional needs. Is it A, adaptation, or B, accommodation? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 44. Which right lets the test takers have a right to know why they are being evaluated? Is it A, the right to be informed of test findings, B, the right of informed consent, or C, the right to privacy and confidentiality? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 45. Which right lets the test takers have a right to be informed of the nature of the findings? Is it A, the right to be informed of test findings, B, the right of informed consent, or C, the right to privacy and confidentiality? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 46. Which right lets the lets the test takers have the freedom to share or withhold their information? Is it A, the right to privacy and confidentiality, B, the right to the least stigmatizing label, or C, the right to privilege information? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 47. Which right lets the test takers have respectful use of words in their test? Is it A, the right to privacy and confidentiality, B, the right to the least stigmatizing label, or C, the right to privilege information? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 48. The written form for informed consent should specify A, the general purpose of the testing, B, the specific reason it is being undertaken in the present case, or C, the general type of instruments to be administered. Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 49. It recognizes the freedom of the individual to share and withhold information from others. Is it A, privacy, B, privileged information, or C, confidentiality? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Question 50. It concerns matters of communication outside the courtroom. Is it A, privacy, B, privileged information, or C, confidentiality? Timer starts now. Timer stops. Question 51. Second to the last na po ito. These are the parties who communicate with each other in the context of certain relationships. Is it A, privacy, B, privileged information, or C, confidentiality? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. Finally, last question. Question 52. What relationships are seen as an example of privileged information? Is it A, lawyer client relationship, B, doctor client relationship, or C, psychologist client relationship? Timer starts now. Okay, timer stops. So, congratulations if you made it this far. Those are our 52 questions for psych assessment part 2. So, let's check our answers. Okay. So, for question 1, it may be defined as a measuring device or procedure. The correct answer is test. Bakit po test? Because test can measure a variable. Yung devices niya ay yung main purpose and procedure niya yung step taken para maka next na procedure. So, basically, yung variable could be any entity person or object used for psychological assessment. So that's for question 1. And sorry po, 9 psych test measures sample of behavior din po. Yes, thank you. Psych. Yes, so cute ng name niyo po. I just noticed na 9:49 p.m. now on my side, and I promised to end yung classes natin 8 to 10 p.m. lang. So please chat if okay lang sa inyo. We should end by 10:15 p.m. Okay lang ba? Yes, no. Heart, may isang heart. G. Ha, G. Okay po. Yes. Okay. Sorry sa mahabang grace period. Do you agree with the 30 minutes grace period kanina? I didn't know pa kasi paano mag-ano. Yes po. Okay. Well, i-poll ko na lang uli later if too much ba yung grace period or hindi. So, ayun. So, let's keep going. Question 2. It is a test measuring psychology-related variables. So, the correct answer is psychological test. Yes. From the word itself, variables, you should immediately think of psychological test kasi minimeasure niya yung mga variables. Yes, very easy na. Back and forth lang. Question 3. Which of the following is correct? No? A test may differ in, dapat kompleto. It should be letter B, content, format, administration, scoring, and interpretation. So, ano bang meron sa 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5? Anong meron sa 5 nito? So, context is about the subject matter. Yung format. So, paano ba siya na-form? Paano ba yung plan and structure? Yung arrangement niya. What's the time limit? Is it computerized din ba? Kasi may other tests na hindi computerized. And is it a paper and pencil test? Yung administration, is it individual or group? Yes. And for scoring and interpretation, what kind of formula was used? So, very simple lang. Okay. For question 4, it has 3 levels of tests in terms of the degree to which the test used required knowledge of testing and psychology. So, the correct answer is test user qualification. Yes, from the word itself, qualification. So, how far are you qualified para nitong test? Okay. So, this can be explained with level A, level B, and level C. So, these are the 3 different test user qualifications. So, test A, okay, let's speed up rin din kasi I promised 10:15. Ito, yung achievement test, aptitude test, and projective test. Okay, I'll explain it in one go. So, yung test user qualification, yung level A test is only lang siya for people with a bachelor's degree, equivalent training, certification, professional membership, and practical experience. So, parang yung pinaka-jacked up, hindi pa doctorate degree, but jacked up na siya na na qualifications, no? These are perfect for achievement and proficiency tests. So, for question 5, that's letter A. Okay, question 6 is yung level B, dapat for graduate degrees lang siya and for equivalent training. So, medyo carry lang na mga qualifications, diba? It's perfect for aptitude tests and adjustment inventories. Yung adjustment inventory is usually used for yung mga children na nahirapan mag-adjust, no? Yung special people, yun yung test na tinitake nila. Okay. Question 7. Okay. Yung level C naman, it's for doctorate degrees and naka-experience na ng direct supervision, no? This could be direct supervision from a psychologist or ano pang katas-tasang posisyon. So they're perfect for projective tests and individual mental tests. Diba? Mental test na. Okay. So as said, question 8, achievement tests and proficiency tests are an example of letter A, level A test. Question 9, aptitude tests and adjustment inventory are an example of letter B, level B test. And finally, projective tests and individual mental tests are an example of letter C, level C test. Okay. Survivable pa ba yung scores so far? Those are the first 10 questions. Okay. So, for question 11, what reflects an evaluation of performance on a task, interviews, or other behavior samples? So, yung score, scoring, and cut-off score, batchmates din itong silang tatlo. Score is more on evaluation of performance. Basically, reflection siya, di ba? It is a summary statement, no? Not necessarily numerical, no? Pwede siya non-numerical. Yung mga quantitative na mga data. And for question 12, what is the process of assigning such evaluative codes or statements to performance on task, interviews, or other behavior samples? It is scoring. Letter B. Okay. So, anong kaibahan ng score and scoring? So, yung score, done na siya na measurement. Well, yung scoring, especially in psych, it is done. No, isa siyang formula na para ma-balance yung scores in a particular group. No? Like, for example, inside a classroom, there's hindi lahat nakapasa. Okay? Which is alarming. Alarming siya na interpretation of scores. So, you make a scoring para makita yung common ground na pwedeng papasa lahat ng mga students. So, ayan po. Question 13. What is a reference point? Usually numerical, derived by judgment, and used to divide a set of data into two or more classifications. So, the correct answer is letter C, cutoff score. So, from the word itself, cutoff, diba? So, may na-reach na siyang mark. Hanggang dyan ka lang. So, cutoff, no? Reference point. Okay. Question 14. So, it is the science of psychological measurement and the testing of psychological variable. So, the correct answer is psychometrics. Why psychometrics? Kasi variable. Yes. You should always remember the word variable. It's pair talaga siya for psychometrics. So, what was psych assessment and psych testing? As explained yesterday, psych assessment is the review of the results. Review siya. Okay? And while yung psych testing is the physical investigation of a person's mind. So, ini-investigate lang niya yung hanggang saan saan ba nag-explore yung mind ng tao. Okay? Sorry for my dogs. Okay? Question 15. It is the method of gathering information through direct communication involving reciprocal exchange. Oh, ganda, diba? The correct answer is B, interview. Okay. Why interview? Kasi aside na may reciprocal exchange, it can be more than talk. Okay? Parang natural flow lang. Yes. Kasi hindi mo masasabi na assessment kasi hindi mo siya hindi mo siya tinetest, ni-review, hindi. And hindi rin role play because that's on another question. So for question 16, what is a collection of work samples? So the formal word is portfolio. Yes. Have you applied? You're actually asked to bring a portfolio, no? Iba yung resume. Kasi resume, it's more on entire history of you. Pwede yan. Pero made in bullet points. Now, portfolio is different. Kasi, yes, it is work samples. Could be, pwede siya yung mga designs mo, ganyan. And personal data sheet. Oh, I did not curse. Sorry po. Yung personal data sheet is different kasi foreign fill in the blanks siya. Okay. For question 17, what refers to records, transcripts, and other accounts in written, pictorial, or other form that preserve archival information? Okay, so bonus question. All answers are correct. Okay, so the given choices here are case history data, case history, and case study. The formal popular term is case study, or you can say case history or case history data. Any way you like it po. So for question 18, what can be defined as monitoring the actions of others or oneself? Syempre, it should be behavioral observation, no? Case history is different kasi it's already in history, diba? And local processing is another explanation later, no? So, yan, behavioral observation. So, it's more of yung natural observation lang. Tinitingnan mo siya, di ba? Pasulyap-sulyap. Just kidding. Okay, so question 19. What can be defined as acting an improvised or partially improvised part in a stimulated situation? Okay, so fancy words, di ba? Pero the correct answer is role play. Syempre, no? Acting. From the word itself, acting. You're giving them a role to play. Haha. Di ba? Play on words lang. So, improvise siya. Partially improvised part in a stimulated situation. Yes, why is it important yung role play sa psych? Kasi, when you give someone a situation, iba-iba tayong interpretation lahat, di ba? So, if I tell you, interpret a teacher, okay? Yung iba may role play someone na mabait. Yung iba, they might role play someone na strict. Yung iba, they might role play someone na quiet. It's really different, vast, no? Ibang interpretations tayong lahat. Okay, question 20. What can be used in test administration, scoring, and interpretation purposes? The direct answer should be letter C, computer. Bakit computer? Na pwede naman calculator. Na pwede naman psychology books. Kasi computer is all in one. Haha, di ba? Trick question. So, correct. Computer talaga yung correct answer. Okay? Question 21. So, it is a scoring that can be done on site. Yes, on site. So, it is local processing. Okay, yung local processing and central processing and teleprocessing are batchmates na keywords. Okay, let me check. Okay, wala. Okay, so what differentiates local processing and central processing? So, local, yung, ano lang, simple lang. Diba? Simple lang siya. It's local, simple, and natural. Whereas ang central processing, it is a scoring that is sent to and returned from a central facility. No? May katas-tasang pwede siyang government mong pinadala yung scoring. When is this used? No? They're used for very important gathering of data like, okay, the crime rate on this specific street is very high. Pwede siya related sa variable na drugs related. So, you're measuring a variable na narcotics. So, something like that. Or poverty din, pwede mo din yan mini-measure kasi usually interconnected yung dalawa. Not that I'm judging. And yung last na choice, teleprocessing. What is teleprocessing, ma'am? Bakit nandyan yan? So actually, central processing, ano siya? Branch yung teleprocessing sa central processing. Teleprocessing simply means from the word itself, tele, no? Tele is phones, no? Phones. So, related pa rin siya sa central processing kasi you're delivering it to the central facility. Okay. So, our next Our next few guys are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different reports. Yes. There's simple scoring report, extended scoring report, interpretive report, consultative report, and integrative report. So, anong kaibahan nila? Okay. Okay. Question 23, no? It is the account of performance spewed out ranging from a list of scores or actual scores themselves. So, it is a simple scoring report. So, simple list lang siya. Diba? Yun lang. List lang siya. List of scores or yung raw scores, no? Actual scores themselves. Yan lang siya. It's a simple score. Okay, question 24. It includes statistical analysis of the test taker's performance. Yes. After the scoring, meron pang interpretation. Extended na mga interpretation. Yes. So, we got from the score, meron ka pang another interpretation of the score. Diba? Yung scores dito on this class, average 45 over 50. You make another extended information of that. Okay. Yung 45 over 50, those are the scores sa test. Yung other score is that, ito na yung masakit na part chart. Nire-rank yung students, okay? 10 students passed or ganon, or 10 students are smart, nasa yun na yan. So that's an extended scoring report, no? Diba? It's not from the original scoring itself, but an extension. Okay. Question 25. It is distinguished by its inclusion of numerical or narrative interpretive statements in the report. No, from the name itself, letter C, yung answer. Interpretive report. Okay? Meron siyang maliit na interpretation, no? Okay. Numerical or narrative interpretive. No, may given na siya na, okay, numerical values or yung narrative, yung okay, yung parang situational na case study. No, okay. So, parang, okay, narrative interpreters data, etc. So, Shamsay has a student with such scores na 45 in English, 47 in math, parang ganun. Meron siyang narrative, okay? Parang ganun siya. Okay, question 26. So, it is written in language appropriate for communication between assessment professionals, may provide expert opinion concerning analysis of the data. So, from the word itself, no? Letter C is the correct answer, consultative report. You're asking for a consultation, di ba? You're asking for an expert opinion. Not expert opinion, yan yung keyword. You're asking for a consultation nitong report. So, what can we interpret? More of this data, no? It's perfect for sensitive case studies, no? Na use. Dito talaga ma-use yung AB Psych site, outside, no? And more cannot limit itself on AB Psych. Okay, question 27. It is integrated data from sources other than the test itself into the interpretive report. Integrated data from the word itself, no? So, syempre, the answer is integrative report. Yes, may integrated data. Okay? So, ano yan? Such and will employ previously collected data, no? And integrate it to interpretive report. So many words, what does it mean? Yung may medication records or behavioral observations, no, on the case itself. No, you make another integrative report based on that. Yes, meron ba yung raised hand? Yes? Raise hands mid questions, diba? Am I going too fast? Please tell me. Oh, I'm speeding up para ma-finish 10:15. Ano ba? Yes, Aliza? Yes? Ayos lang po. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Question 28. Who are the ones who will publish the test materials? Yes. So the correct term is test developers. You develop. Naka-develop in charge. So not test makers, not test creators, but test developers. Okay. Question 29, no? Actually, batchmates din pala yung test developers, test users, and no. Both, ano na yan? Answer na yung isa. So, there are the professionals who purchase, read, and know the standards of the test. The formal term is test users, not test holders, not test keepers, but test users. And it is the question 30. It is the assessee who will take the test. The formal term is test takers. Yeah? Just like you guys, you're all BLEP takers. Diba? Ganda. So, batchmates, itong si test takers, test users, and test developers in parties in the assessment enterprise. Magkasama silang tatlo. Okay. So, there are tests administered early in school life to help identify children who may have special needs. Okay, so the formal term is educational setting. Why not campus, why not school? Kasi building sila. Haha, char, joke. Nag-joke si Ma. So, it's actually question B yung correct answer. Kasi it's the more formal term. No? Educational setting. Okay. Okay, so, ito ring dalawa. Magkasama ito under educational setting, diagnostic test and achievement test. I think we've all experienced this before we entered. Yes, grade school. Yes, was a grade school. No? Eh, wala yan sa kinder kasi kinder is open for all. Pero eto, usually grade school meron itong dalawa. So, which test evaluates accomplishment or the degree of learning that has taken place? So, syempre, it's achievement test. No? Evaluates the accomplishment. No? Parent words lang yung accomplishment and achievement. Diba? Madali lang. Okay, question 33. Which test refers to a tool of assessment used to help narrow down and identify areas of deficit to be targeted for intervention? Syempre, it's diagnostic test. No? Okay. We've all experienced diagnostic tests, no? There's no, if I remember correctly, wala naman talagang pass or fail sa diagnostic test. It's supposed to measure asan 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 mas strong yung mind mo. Is it more creative ba? Is it more mathematical? Saan yung magandang interpretation niya, no? So that's that. Question 34. Okay, so what do you call society that can benefit from tests? Very important keyword. So it's actually called society at large, no? Yes, we need tests kasi yan yung ginagamit mostly for DSWD. Kasi if we don't know the condition of our society, no? Paano siya magka-advance, no? Paano siya magka-develop, no? We should know the concerns of our own citizens, no? Para makatulong tayo. Like, if pwede na yung causes pala ng poverty ay yung extreme demands for job applications na need pala ng for this institution only na may master's graduate lang. Do you think ma-accommodate yan lahat? Hindi. Siyempre hindi. So, yan. That's one thing na why tests are important. Okay, question 35. Okay. I'm catching a breath. Okay, so what setting is used to help screen for or diagnose behavior problems? So the formal term is clinical setting, no? And rehabilitation is a different word. No, rehabilitation is the curing part. No, let's focus on its type. No, which type of setting is it? Okay. Okay, so question 36. What is used to measure intelligence? Yes, from the word itself, intelligence. So, nababagay lang siya sa intelligence test. That is letter C. Question 37. What is used to describe or evaluate the personality of an individual? Yes, from the word itself, personality. So, nababagay lang din siya sa personality test. And last but not the least, what is an assessment of how one's brain functions, which indirectly yields information about the structural and functional integrity of your brain. Siyempre, brain parts na. So, it's only bagay lang siya for neuropsychological test, which is letter A. From the word itself, no? Neurons in the brain. Okay. So, bonus din. Yung question 39. Okay, I'll be kind. No? What are other known settings for assessment tests? So, A, military, B, organizational, or C, both. All answers are correct, pero mas maganda rin if letter C, but no, qualified din yung A or B. No? Military test, worst, ito yung first talaga during World War One. Yes, no, they're actually responsible why mental tests have been created. And organizational tests, syempre, na usually before you enter yung gobyerno, no, kahit may civil service ka na, may government positions pa din na requires you to take a test. No? Yes. Question 40. What protocol is followed in the test administration? Yes, so bonus question again. So all answers are correct. Paper and pencil, computer, and expressions themselves, or jargons, kumbaga. No? They're all used as helpful protocols for a test administration. Yes. Question 41. What are the two types of test administration? So the correct term is individual and group. Okay? That is letter B. Not assessor and assessee, not student and worker, but the individual, ikaw mismo, and a group itself. So, yes. Saan mini-measure? Okay. Question 42. What assessment is accomplished by means of some accommodation made to the assessee? Okay. So, alternate assessment is the correct answer. And, okay. Okay, so, yung accommodation, branch lang siya ng alternate assessment. No, it's not an assessment itself. This is a trick choice. So, alternate assessment talaga yung correct answer. So, for question 43, it is the adaptation of a test, procedure, or situation, or the substitution of one test or another to make the assessment more suitable or necessary with exceptional needs. So, yes, the correct answer is accommodation. No, you accommodate. No, from the word itself, you accommodate. Kasi you're helping an assessee adapt a test to them, diba? You're making adjustments for them. So that's accommodation, diba? Why is this important? Per se, major exam today, and typhoon. Okay, common scenario. Baha, usually. So, anong gagawin mo? Syempre, you'll move the examination or you'll make a special exam if warrior ka talaga ni teacher. So, ganun. Question 44. Which right lets the test takers have a right to know why they're being evaluated? So, syempre, the answer is the right of informed consent. No? Tell me why. Tell me why I am taking the test. Diba? Why are you evaluating me? So, syempre, you are asking consent from them. So, consent usually must be written rather than oral form. Hindi pwede sabi-sabi lang. It should be legalized. Dapat may written form, no? So, question 45, which right lets the test takers have a right to be informed of the nature of the findings? Okay, the nature of the findings. So, the correct answer is the right to be informed of test findings. Okay, paano if, there, okay, I'm sure all of us have conducted our own psychological test, no, as part of a project for school. Ice. Okay, fast forward to you. Sorry for that. Okay, correct question for you. Okay. Okay, not all questionnaires are friendly, di ba? Some of them are extremely sensitive, no? Okay, so I remember meron akong upperclassman, yung ano, maganda case study nila, pero yung questions niya regarding about family problems, that's not something na pwede mo lang mag-gather ng information. So you have to tell them, okay, para saan, bakit mo kinukuha information ng family problems naman, 'di ba? Siyempre, you have to be open, no? Be, no, gano'n, para hindi siya insulting. Okay, the time is 10:20. Okay, let's finish on 10:30. Is that okay? Question 46. Which right lets the test takers have the freedom to share or withhold your information? So from the words itself, no, with share or withhold information, it should be letter A, the right to privacy and confidentiality. Yes, I have the right to my privacy. No? May limitation ito. Pwede nga checkbox ito na can we have your information, no? Usually sa on top na yan, no? Name, age, gender. Yes, meron yan. Okay, question 47. Which right lets the test takers have respectful use of words in their test? Syempre, it is letter B, the right to the least stigmatizing label. Okay? So, yes, malawak yung psych. No, we can extract data from social problems. Pero that doesn't mean na we have the power to just uh, treat them like not a human being. So, dapat with respect pa din, di ba? So, we should use yung non non-degrading words. Yes, no? Like intelligence test. May interpretation na. Syempre, you cannot say your student is a moron, no? That's a very bad word, no? You can't just say that, no? Or any strong words, no? Please avoid. So that's the right to the least stigmatizing label. Okay, question 48. Yes, bonus question again. So all answers are correct. The written form for informed consent should specify all these three. The general purpose of the testing, no? Anong purpose ng testing na ito? B, the specific reason it is being undertaken in the present case. Yes, what was the reason? No, ma'am, we are using this test to pass our subject in abnormal psychology. That's actually good enough. Okay, and for letter C, the general type of instruments to be administered. We'll be using in this test. We'll be using um, a questionnaire, ball pen, and okay, what have you in mind sa inyong case study? So that's that. Question 49. It recognizes the freedom of the individual to share and withhold information for others. So that's actually privacy. So privacy, privileged information, and confidentiality are all batchmates din sila under the right to privacy and confidentiality. Okay. So from the word itself, share and withhold, that should be privacy. Letter A. Question 50. It concerns matters of communication outside the courtroom. Yes, from the word itself, courtroom, you should know confidentiality. The word. Yes, this is highly confidential. Yes. Legal term na siya. Okay. Okay. That is a distinguished privilege, kumbaga. Question 51. These are the parties who communicate with each other in the context of certain relationships. Okay. So, what is privileged information? Okay. And what does it mean? What does it mean? So, parties who communicate with each other. Okay. From that sentence alone, kayo lang dalawa. Kaya nga, privileged information siya. Kayong dalawa lang nag-share nitong secret. Diba? In the context of certain relationships. This relationship could be yung, which is question 52. Yes, bonus question again. So, ano, the lawyer and the client relationship, syempre, they cannot disclose everything sa kanilang client that these are the properties that they own, and if they die, dito mapasa yung inheritance. No, they cannot disclose that. That's privileged information. Ako lang nakakalam. Okay? The same goes with doctor-client relationships. Sensitive data. Like, Ma'am, I have cancer. Please do not tell my family. They'll be disheartened. Okay? I want to pass peacefully. Para hindi na sila magbayad. So that's one thing. No? Syempre, that's privileged information. And psychologist-client relationship is, yes, we have many interpretations of this. No? A lot of sensitive data, no, from childhood, private childhood experiences pa lang, no. We cannot overshare that, no, or specific traumas. We cannot share that as well. So that's the end of our slide. Yes, yay.